Dear students, in this video lecture, we are going to see what is recommender system, how the recommender system is working and its type, and also we specifically see what is content-based filtering in recommender systems. In our day-to-day life, we are using internet for several purposes. Internet has large volume of data. Search engines and recommender systems are used to extract data from the internet database. Even though both extract data from the huge database, the working principle behind search engine and recommender system are very different. Search engines are generally user initiative and it will work based on the keyword. Example, Google search engine and YouTube search engine. Whenever you type a keyword in the Google search engine, it will search in the database and display the topmost search result based on the ranking algorithm. That's why it is called as pull system. Based on the keyword, it is pulling the data from the database and it is displaying to the user. So one of the main problem in the search engine is that if you have very huge amount of data in the database, it is difficult to filter the appropriate data from the large volume of data because the user has to have a proper domain knowledge, then only he can enter a proper keyword to get the specific data. So it is very much important to search an item from the database with the appropriate keyword. That's why the user have a particular domain knowledge in order to search in that search engine. So if you want to search any item, so we have to give the appropriate keyword. So this drawback is overcome by the recommender system. So the recommender system does not rely on the user keyword. Here the system itself give a recommendation to the user for the specific items. So here instead of giving the keywords, the recommendation is based on the user's past preference. So this system is called as push system. So we need not to give a keyword. The system itself push the data from the database to the user's dashboard. The example is YouTube, Amazon and Netflix. So if you see here, the system fetch similar items based on the user's past purchasing experience. So if you have any new item recently added in the database, it is related to our user's past preference, then the recommender system is recommending that item to the user by the system itself without the user entering the keyword explicitly and search for it. That's why the recommender system is more preferable than the search engine. So we will see what are the differences. In search engine, the user has to know what he is looking for and he has to know the appropriate keyword, that is the query. Then only the engine can able to search it from the database and it will identify the item which is correspondent to the keyword and that will be given to the user. But in case of recommender system, the system will generate the recommendation to the user based on their past preferences. So the main task of search engine is responding to the query based on the keyword given by the user, but the recommendation engine shows only those items which are useful for the user based on his past preferences. And now we will see what is a recommender system. So recommender system is one of the applications of machine learning. So in our daily day-to-day life, we are using recommender system in different ways. From e-commerce website to online advertisement application, we are using the recommender system. So the definition of the recommender system is, it is defined as a tool which is designed to interact with large and complex information spaces. That is, we are having internet. So internet having huge amount of data, that is millions and millions of data. So the recommender system can able to predict the future preferences of the set of items for a particular user and recommend that item based on their interest of the user in an automated fashion. So many commercial websites using this recommendation system for suggesting the user's future preference. Example, movie recommendation system, product recommendation system, and others like linked list, Facebook. There you are getting the recommendation about your friends. Next, why and when do we need recommender system? So as you know that we are in the internet era, there are quantity of information available in the internet is very huge, millions and millions of data. So the recommender system is useful in several domains. So generally people are not able to expert in all the domains what they are like. Also they don't have enough time to spend looking for a perfect item to be purchased. So in that time, recommendation system help to recommend the related items based on their past preferences. Also, if you see any e-commerce companies, they are using the recommendation system in order to focus their increasing sales. So based on that, they will give a personalized offers and also they will enhance the customer's experience. So recommender systems are mainly used nowadays because there must be needing a solution for large amount of data, because in the internet we are having large amount of data. We are not able to search each and every item by using a proper keyword because the user has to have a domain knowledge, but recommender system will solve this problem even though you have a large amount of data. And also reduction of cognitive load on the user. That is, if the user wants to search for anything, he must have a domain knowledge, but here the system itself recommending based on the user's past preference, so the reduction of the cognitive load on the user. And next is allowing new items to be revealed to the user. So if a new item is added in the internet database, automatically based on the user's past preferences and the history of search, so it will reveal the new item to the user. And now how the recommender system collect their data. One is either it can collect the data explicitly or it can collect the data implicitly. So explicit. So you have seen if you purchase any product in the Amazon, immediately it will get for the user rating, or you may give the comments to the particular product, or you may give the likes to the YouTube videos. So the system can get the data explicitly through user ratings, comments and likes. In case of implicit, the system will collect the data from the user through search queries, their purchase histories and other information such as the user profile and the item description. The recommender system generally have the information in two kinds. One is called as characteristics information and another one is user item interaction. What is meant by characteristics? That may be the information about the item, that is the description about the item, its keyword, category, like that. And in case of user means the user profile, preference, their history of purchase and that informations. And for the user item interaction, the interaction contains the information such as the rating given to the particular item by the user and how many number of times the user has purchased the product and his likes, comments. So that all having the information about the user item interactions. And now based on the working concept of recommender system, the recommender system is mainly divided into two types. One is called content based filtering and another one is called as collaborative filtering. In this lecture we will see the content based filtering in an elaborate manner. The other type of recommender system is called as hybrid recommenders. This hybrid approach can be implemented in some of these ways. First one, you can make the content based filtering separately, collaborative prediction separately and then combining them. Or by adding the content based capability to the collaborative approach, or you can do the vice versa. Or the model can be created by unifying the approaches into a single model. And all the recommended systems using the basic model, which is nothing but the utility matrix. So utility matrix is otherwise called as user item interaction matrix. So this matrix is represented with U, and which is the product of C and S, where C represents the set of customers, S represents the set of items. So the utility matrix provides the relationship between the customer to the item. Then here the R represents the rating given by the user to the particular item. So the matrix U can be represented with M cross N, and the values inside that matrix represent the rating of the user to the particular item in terms of clicked, watched, purchased, liked, rated, etc. So each cell in the matrix represents the corresponding opinion about the product by the user. So for instance, this U of I comma J denotes how the user A likes the item J. For example, here the value 4 represents the user A rated the item I1 with the rate scale of 4. That is, he is most like to that particular product. And here some of the cells are empty, which represent the user A doesn't purchase this particular product, item 2 and item 3. In reality, this user item matrix can be more than a size of millions into millions, because we have several users in the internet and also we have several items in the database. So in that, majority of the entries in the user item matrix are missing. That's why the utility matrix is sparse. Sparse means most of the items are missing, so we have a empty cells. So the goal of our recommender system is to fill this missing entries, because the recommender system has to predict these missing values. So based on that only, it is recommending that particular product to the user. So there are some key problems in the recommender system. The first one is gathering the information for the utility matrix. Already I have explained you, in order to get the information for the recommender system, there are two ways. One is explicit and another one is implicit. In explicit means based on the rating commands you can get the information. Implicit means based on the previous purchase histories you can get the information. So that information is only filled in the utility matrix. The next thing is, we have seen some of the empty cells in the utility matrix. So the goal of the recommender system is we have to infer these unknown values from the known values. That is, based on the user's past preferences, we have to find out what is the empty value for these new cells. So next we have to evaluate the values whatever you inferred, whether it is correct or not. First method in the recommender system is content-based filtering approach. In content-based filtering approach, we does not have the involvement of the other users. So mainly content-based filtering system provide recommendation to the user about a particular item which is related to their previous purchase experience. For example, user A bought a product of mobile. So automatically the recommender system give a recommendation about similar products related to the product what he buy already. For example, if you buy a mobile, automatically we need a mobile case and we need a charger, we need a power bank, we need a headset, etc. So the system itself recommend similar products to the user based on its previous purchase. So this approach will recommend the items which are similar related to those the user liked before. This content-based approaches use the profile information about the user and also the description about the item for the user-item interaction. So as the user provides more and more inputs, then only the recommendation system can become more and more accurate. And here we will see one example how the music recommender system is working. So here all the musics, that is songs, are entered in the song database. All the users are available in the user database. So here the utility matrix provide a relationship between the user and the item, how the user has liked the particular item. So if we take the item contains the descriptions like music director, the type of artist, the melody, harmony, rhythm, the instrument used in that. The user profile contains the age, sex, like that information. So whenever the user is hearing some music, after some time he log into the music recommender system. So automatically the system can able to provide a recommendation to the user based on his past likes. Here the content-based filtering is used to fetch the related items based on the user's past likes, and based on that it will recommend the new songs related to their likes. So if any new music is added in the recommender system, automatically when the user next time log in, the recommender system will provide the recommendation to the user. For example, the user has listened 4 songs. In that 4 songs, 3 songs are sung by the artist 1 and only 1 song is sung by the artist 2. So by using this information itself, matrix itself, you can have an idea that the user is most likely to hear the songs of artist 1. Whenever a new song released by the artist, it is added in the database. When the user next time login into the music system, automatically the recommender system use the content based filtering concept and it will fetch the related likes of the user and provide the recommendation to the user about the similar song by the artist 1. Like this only, our content based filtering is working in the recommender system. In the next video lecture, we will see the collaborative filtering in the recommender system. Thank you for listening.